Hi guys, this is Christine, and I'm a dating, relationship, and personal development coach. And today I'm talking about why sometimes walking away is your only option, and why it's often the best option for you. And this is especially for those that have been dumped, who've gone through a breakup, who didn't want the breakup to happen, or it could be the case that this was someone that you liked and then they put you in friend zone. So why sometimes walking away is the best option for you is because basically if you keep on prolonging things and you keep on living in hope basically that they're going to come back, or you might be doing no contact like what a lot of coaches talk about, including myself on the internet, and you're just kind of like crossing off the days and you're waiting basically hoping that your ex will get in contact with you or whoever this person is. It's basically a massive waste of time basically if this person isn't going to come back, right? And you don't want to waste your time because there's no crystal ball way of knowing if this person is coming back for sure, right? You may go into no contact, you may say that you're not going to contact them for 40 days and hoping within that 40-day period they may reach out to you or something along those lines. And there's no guarantee that they're actually going to reach out to you. When someone breaks up with you, there's never a guarantee that it's going to work, no contact, and that you're going to get this person back, especially if they have completely fallen out of love with you. Now, I'm not saying it's not possible, because it certainly is possible, especially if this person still has feelings for you. But the point is that walking away is the best thing for you to do, because I don't want you to waste your time. Now, this doesn't mean that I want you to go straight into a new relationship and start dating straight away, because I feel like unless enough time has passed at least, you shouldn't jump from one relationship straight into another, because those things tend to not work out very well in the long run. Hearts get broken even further, and because you haven't had time to heal from the previous relationship, you can sometimes bring old habits into a new relationship. Yeah, so basically when you have a breakup with someone, it's better to learn from your mistakes. I'm not saying that you're to blame for the breakup, but when you're in a relationship, especially a relationship that has failed, then you have to learn from what you did as well, because usually these things, there's some things that you did wrong, there's things that they did wrong. It doesn't really matter who's done the most of the wrong things. All that matters is that you learn from whatever you did wrong. And that may only be one thing. You may have only done one thing that was wrong, or it could be a couple of things. They could be the one that did most of the things wrong. But the point is that whatever mistakes you made, no matter how small, you still learn from those. Because if you go into a new relationship and you still have all these bad habits, you're just going to bring those straight into a new relationship. And that's one of the reasons why rebound relationships don't work, and they never really work out. Because even if they work out for a while, usually there is still problems within that relationship if that person hasn't gone through the inner work to get over the previous relationship that they're in. Now, sometimes it can work, but often it doesn't, because a lot of people don't like to actually work on themselves. Now, you're someone watching a video like this, so you're someone who probably doesn't mind, or at least is open to working on themselves and getting through their issues and getting past the problems basically that have occurred that you've done. You want to work on those things. You want to become better. You want to improve, so that this kind of thing doesn't happen in the next relationship. So it's important that you don't get into a rebound relationship. So that's not what I mean by walking away. Walking away basically is me just saying to you, letting go of this previous relationship and not living in hope that they're going to come back, because you don't know. And you don't want to waste your time thinking, okay, I'm just going to stop my life until my ex comes back, or this, whoever it is, right? Because you don't want to stop your life. You don't want to stop your life for anyone. You don't want to, you got to move on basically. And obviously, it takes a while to emotionally move on. I'm not saying this is going to happen instantly like that. It does take time to heal from a relationship, especially one where there was a lot of passion, where there was a lot of fire involved, a lot of fiery arguments. Perhaps there was a lot of hurt, perhaps there was a lot of heartbreak, and I completely empathize with that. But you do need to have some time on your own, and you do need to start letting go and moving on with your life. And basically, the best way I can describe that is to start assuming that they're not coming back and living from that point, and figuring out how you can make your days a little bit better, because it may be the case that you've been obsessing a lot over them, or you've been thinking about them a lot. It doesn't have to be obsessively, but there is some part of you that's in kind of like some sort of stasis period where you're kind of like stuck. And it's all because you can't move on from this person. And one of the things that stops you from moving on from this person is if you're kind of like crossing off the days of like how many days you've been in no contact with them, things like that. So you need to start from that place of assuming that they're not coming back and working from there. And it could be the fact that you start taking up new hobbies. It could be the fact that you get a therapist and you start speaking about your problems with a therapist, or whatever it is that happened in the relationship. You might not have that many problems, but I always think of having a therapist is a good thing anyway. Even if you don't have any problems, it's just good to talk to someone who's unbiased and who doesn't really know you that well, who's not going to have an opinion, is just going to listen to you. I think sometimes that's probably best to have someone like that in your life that you can contact, even if you have to pay for it. Of course, there are other methods that you can do if you can't afford that kind of thing. Like, there are loads of coaching videos. I'm sure there's lots of videos from therapists on YouTube as well. And maybe some of that work, some of their work can help you through that situation. So walking away is the best thing for you to do right now, and trying to let go and living from that place and assuming that they're not coming back, because you don't want to waste your time. And the longer you sort of stay in this stasis period where you're kind of like you can't move on and things aren't improving, the harder it's gonna be able to move on from them, because the longer you're sort of in a headspace where you're hoping that they're coming back or whatever it may be, the longer it's going to be for you to move on from that person, right? The harder it's going to be as well. So, of course, we're all at different levels. And someone who is watching this video may have just come out of a relationship, and someone else may have, it's already been a few months. So we're all at different stages here. So you've got to kind of work out where you're at and what's going to benefit you moving on. And for you, it might be just, I just need to take my mind off things for a few months. Maybe I'll, going to focus on my career for a little while. Perhaps I'm going to start a project. Perhaps I'm going to focus on my hobbies. Perhaps I'm going to start hanging out with friends more often, and things like that. And started to rebuild yourself. And I think a lot of the time, when people hear, people saying going into no contact, or just letting go of their ex, or perhaps even walking away from their ex or something, they think, they kind of get in this like sad state, because they're like, oh yeah, they're not coming back. I have to assume that they're not coming back. It's all very sad. I understand as well if you are feeling sad about that kind of me saying something like that, to you, or anyone else saying that to you for that matter. It does make you feel kind of bummed out, like, oh yeah, there is a chance that this person may not come back. And I don't want you to feel bummed out about it. All I want you to do is kind of change your mindset about what is happening currently, right? And what is happening currently, if I was you, right? If I just got out of a breakup, what I would be doing is I'll be trying to reframe in my mind my attitude and my philosophy to the situation, right? And my attitude, what I would try to adopt, even though it's probably going to be difficult, is I got to start seeing this breakup or this person putting me in friend zone, whatever it may be, as an adventure. Like, this is like a new opportunity for me to find new people in my life, to find new romance possibly a few months down the line after I've done some healing. It's opened up my days to more time, so I can work on things that really matter to me, so I can spend my time in a way that I enjoy, because now I'm out of this relationship, or I've stopped focusing on this person so much, I've stopped spending so much time on the internet looking up things about how to get them back, or I've stopped looking up information on how to do the no contact rule, whatever it may be. I now have more time to actually do other things, right? And one of the first steps to do that is to start letting go and realize that, hey, I just need to assume they're not coming back. I'm going to watch content on how to reconnect with friends, or how to create my own business, or how to hustle a little bit with my current job or something like that, or how to or it might be some of you start learning something that you've always wanted to learn. Like, you might have always wanted to learn to sing or to play the guitar, but now you have all this time because you don't have this person in your life anymore to do those things. And you have to see it as an adventure. You have to see it as this new opportunity, because if you don't, and you see it as a really sad, bad thing, then it's very likely that you could actually fall back into old habits, like checking their social media, living back in that hope place, because you basically got to come to terms with the situation. And the terms that you need to come to terms with is the fact that they may not come back, right? And now it is possible that they could, because I don't know your specific situation. So it may be the case that they do still love and care about you, and you're going to hear from them in a few days or in a month or whatever. But at this current time, you need to assume that they're not coming back, because especially if they broke up with you, and especially if you can tell that they're no longer in love with you. So that's my advice on why walking away is really the only option you have. You don't want to stay stuck in one place. You want to be continuing to move on and growing with your life, because if you're in this kind of like stagnant place, then you're not growing. And if you're not growing, the opposite of that, of course, is you're dying, right? Now, of course, that's a very dramatic thing to say, and I don't mean it in like in a harsh way, but if you think of it as like a plant, you know, if a plant is not growing, then it's wilting, right? And you want to get to a place where you feel like you're growing, you know, and feel like this new opportunity can help you grow. See it as an adventure, you know, and realize that painful experiences often forge us into a much stronger person. So as long as you have a more optimistic outlook on it, and you're not going to let it defeat you, and you should never let anyone else defeat you, right? Even if, you know, it could be a person or a situation, you should never let circumstances or people defeat you. And when I say defeat, I mean make you feel bad, make you regress, make you feel like you can't move on with your life. You know, you have to realize that you're the only person in control of the situation. And, you know, you're the only one in control of your emotions and how you feel and your outlook. And you should never let anyone else ever have that control over you. And that includes your ex, who may have made you feel like, you know, like made you feel bad, which is very, very possible. You know, you might be feeling bad currently while you're watching this, but don't ever give anyone that power over you. See it as opportunity, see it as a new adventure. And even if it sucks right now, I guarantee it will get better, and you will become stronger because of it. You know, it's like the cliche saying, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. And I know it's a cliche thing to say, but if it's a cliche and people say it a lot, then it's probably true. So thank you so much for watching. I hope this has helped you. And if you'd like to get in touch with me personally, then you can go to www.christineloveridge.com so I can help you with your specific situation. So thank you so much, and I shall talk to you again very soon. Goodbye.